You know, some of the most powerful psychological insights, they aren't found in modern textbooks. They're hidden in ancient stories. Today, we're going to dig into one that's over 2,000 years old, a really strange and wonderful parable about what lies just beneath the surface of our own minds. Let's get into it.
It sounds a little crazy, right? An anthill that smokes and burns, and it's filled with all these mysterious creatures. But trust me, this isn't just a fantasy. It's actually a profound map of our inner world, and by the end of this, you'll have a much deeper understanding of what it all really means.
So our story begins with this truly bizarre sight, something that would definitely catch your eye. It sets up a mystery that, at first, seems almost impossible to solve.
Now, this isn't some modern fable somebody just cooked up. This story comes from a text called the Vamika Sutta, which is part of the sacred scriptures of Theravada Buddhism. So we're talking about timeless wisdom here, passed down for generations, all centered on a puzzle that's as old as humanity itself.
Just try to imagine walking through a field and seeing this. At night, there's smoke just rising out of an anthill. Then during the day, it looks like it's on fire from the inside. A wise Brahmin, a spiritual seeker, stumbles upon this, and he's immediately fascinated. He knows there's way more going on here than meets the eye.
And this is his first thought. Not to run away, but to figure it out. He realizes that to understand this mystery, he's got to open it up, dissect it, with a tool sharp enough to get to the truth. Now, remember that idea? The sharp knife? It's absolutely crucial.
So the Brahmin gets to work, and what he finds inside is, well, it's even stranger than the smoke and fire. It's this whole sequence of creatures that just seem to make zero sense together.
As he starts digging, he uncovers one thing after another. First, a huge turtle, okay? Then a swarm of insects. Then a leech. Deeper still, more strange insects. Then a massive snake. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, he finds two more bizarrely named insects. And then, at the very bottom, a magnificent great dragon.
And this is really the heart of the riddle, isn't it? It's a collection that just seems completely random. I mean, what connects a turtle to a snake? And where in the world does a dragon fit into all of this? The Brahmin is totally stumped. He has all the raw data, but he doesn't have the key to figure it out.
So recognizing that this puzzle is way beyond his own wisdom, the Brahmin decides to seek out the one person who he knows can give him a definitive answer.
He finds a monk and lays out the entire story for him, the smoking anthill, the bizarre collection of creatures, and asks him to take this question directly to the Buddha. He knows that a puzzle this deep requires a master decoder.
And I just love this line because it perfectly illustrates the Brahmin's attitude. It's not about his own guess, it's about getting to the real truth. He is ready to listen, ready to accept the explanation, whatever it might be. The stage is totally set for the ultimate reveal.
And here it is. The monk asks the Buddha, and the Buddha lays out the meaning of every single symbol. This is the moment where the parable transforms from just a strange story into a powerful psychological diagram.
Okay, let's start with the big picture. The Buddha explains that the anthill, that's a metaphor for our own physical body. The smoke at night? Yeah, those are our thoughts, our plans, our worries, just swirling around in our minds when we're alone. And the fire by day? That's what happens when those thoughts turn into our actions and our words out in the real world.
Now for the creatures. Let's see how this all connects. That great turtle with its hard shell represents the 5 hindrances, things like sensory desire, ill will, doubt, and restlessness that hold us back and basically keep us trapped in our own shells.
The water mother insect is a symbol for our anger and our hatred. And the leech, that's a perfect metaphor for greed and jealousy, right? These clinging, draining emotions that just feed on our peace of mind. Next up, the asana insect represents the powerful pull of our 5 senses, the constant chase after pleasant sights, sounds, and tastes. And the great snake, a classic symbol in so many traditions, represents the deepest problem of all, fundamental ignorance, our inability to see things as they truly are. The final obstacles are even more subtle. These last 2 strange insects represent our doubt, that indecision that just paralyzes us, and our arrogance, the ego that tells us we already know everything. As we dig deeper, we're uncovering all the layers of our own inner junk. But wait a minute, that wasn't the end of the list. After digging past ignorance, ego, greed, and anger, what was lying at the very, very core? The great dragon. The Buddha explains this represents the enlightened mind itself. It symbolizes our true nature. our ultimate potential that's just lying dormant beneath all of those other layers. It's the powerful, free, and luminous mind that's possible once all the hindrances have been cleared away.
So if the dragon is our potential, how do we get there? Well, the parable gave us the answer right at the start. It all comes back to the seeker and his tool.
Now, here's the final twist. The Buddha reveals that the wise Brahmin in the story, he's actually a symbol for the Buddha himself, the enlightened teacher. And that sharp knife he talked about, that is wisdom, a sharp, penetrating insight that can cut right through confusion. So the entire parable is basically a 4-step guide. First, you have to recognize that your body and mind are the anthill, full of hidden complexities. Second, you pick up the knife of wisdom. Third, you start digging. You use diligent practice to cut through all those layers of hindrances we just talked about. And finally, the goal, to uncover and become the dragon, to realize your own enlightened nature.
And this is what brings the ancient parable directly to us, right here, right now. It's a powerful reminder that within our own complex, sometimes confusing minds, our personal anthills, there are layers of obstacles for sure. But beneath it all lies something powerful and free. The only question is, what tool of insight will you choose to start digging and uncover the dragon within?